And not coincidentally, we're standing outside Mellon Arena,
Yes.
built in 1961. What's special about this building to you?
Well, Mellon Arena, first to understand, it came about in about the same era as the Googie era. You know, there was, again, a sense of optimism. What most people don't know is that when the proposal for this dome was built, it was also being erected and designed and built at the same time as the Space Needle in Seattle and, of course, the Arch in St. Louis. And so each city was competing, in a sense, for its symbol of the future, and ours was the Civic Arena.
Now, what's going to happen to this building? We're hearing about a new hockey arena. What would you want to see happen to this arena?
Well, typically in development processes today, it's easier for politicians and bureaucrats to think about, in a rational sense, to just tear it down and start over. We saw that with Three Rivers Stadium. We saw that even further back at Forbes Field. It's easier to make a clean slate and start over. And that's the way urban renewal worked all the way up to this day in many ways. It's just done in different ways. But this building, we think, still has value, that it can be, think about it in the sense that this could be an extreme makeover, very much like you watch a rather bland house on TV be turned into a pretty cool place. You can do the same thing with this building, and it has great bones, as we say as architects. The structure is wonderful. It's got a great stainless steel roof. What's not good about it, of course, is the functional needs inside of it for a modern hockey arena. There's not enough concourse space. It doesn't meet ADA standards. There are a number of things that make it hard to reuse as an arena that the Penguins can use to stay competitive economically. But that doesn't mean it can't have a new use.
And you brought some drawings of the arena.
I did. I think it's most important for people to understand how the building works. You know, it's the largest movable dome in the world when it was built. An amazing piece of architecture and engineering. And this is what the building looked like when it's in the full open position. So all the leaves of the dome fold back on themselves, running on a railroad track right above us here in this concrete ring. And so all of this is a forms follows function. It's a very beautiful expression of how to build a dome that can move. The truss here, of course, supports that dome when it's in an open position. All the leaves that are pulled back, so like a flower closing. And so you can see how little building there is left when it's in a full open position. So a lot of people were saying, well, the building's in the way of development and connections from the hill. And I was saying, no, it's really like a public park. It's a centerpiece in redevelopment. It's an opportunity. And so I'm going to flip this over and show you a little sketch of what that building might look like. It's now really like a giant bandstand. This is the ice skating rink. If you cut everything out of the building, you demolish all the guts, the seating bowl, you're left with the rink and a small seating, maybe 3,000 to 5,000 people, and then the ring, which obviously supports the dome when it's closed, this all becomes landscape and a sidewalk running around it, sort of a park. And you could build, which I haven't shown in this drawing, but you can build structures in here. You could have a small hotel, farmers markets, you can have any number of ideas. Think about it as the world's largest community center or field house. So when it rains or in the winter, you can close it up and play football in there and play hockey. You can come here and visit before you go to the hockey game in the new arena. Merrily New Place, of course, runs right around the building, so what a great place to stop on your way in with your kids before you go to the game.
And if someone wants to get behind this and support it in some way, what do you recommend?
Well, Preservation Pittsburgh is the organization that's been spearheading this cause. We are working very deliberately and very collaboratively with the community. Our executive director and myself spend a great deal of time working in the Hill District and talking to city officials to try to get them comfortable with this idea and get them to see it. It takes a while to understand this. People have already gone on a straight line saying we're going to tear it down. You have to get people to back up a little bit and think about this before we make the move. It's going to cost $10 to $15 million just to tear it down. So let's repurpose that $10 to $15 million and gut it, repurpose it, and develop a new use that can provide income, that can provide more value to the buildings we build around it. And that's a key part. All of the things that the Hill community and downtown would like to see here in economic development can still happen, and this actually sort of becomes a park in the middle of really strong development.